Right, so it's now the 4th of June and we've acquired some new fruit plants. And I know what you're thinking, I keep complaining about the lack of space, but we've come up with a plan on where to put all these, but that's for another video. For now, I'm just going to put them in pots and stand them around in the garden like I normally do. So we've got 3 gooseberries in there, soaking in water because they're the first ones I'm going to plant. And like I say, all I'm doing is I've got some buckets, a bit gravel in the bottom, some compost and some bone meal to help the roots. And basically they're selling them off because they haven't been looked after, they haven't been watered or out like that. So they're just looking a bit sorry for themselves, but they should sure pick up. But that's why I'm giving them a good soak first. So just while I'm sorting the pots out, giving them a good soak in the water. So I'll do the 3 gooseberries first, and then there's 2 red currants, a black currant and a raspberry to do as well. So I'll get all them done. I just wanted to show you how I was doing them. So a bit gravel, some compost, some bone meal. I'll stand them in and then pack it around and then take them outside and give them a good drink. So I'll get all that done and I'll come back and we'll have a look. Right, so that's all them done. All potted and given a good drink. I'm just letting them drip off a bit. They're going to go in the greenhouse for a couple of nights and get hardened off. Just because they've come out of B&Q, so they won't have been outside. Chances are they'll have been inside them ones, so they'll get hardened off. And that's it. We'll see you next time. So it's now the 10th and we're back in the garden. It's a lovely day and we've just been putting the red onions in, just slotting them in between the Stuttgarts. And I've just given it a bit of potash because they're starting to bulb up now at the bottom, and to give them a bit of a helping hand, give a bit of potash. Because even though we're not going to water these in yet because the sun's blazing, it's like midday, and it is pretty warm. Later on, as it cools down, we'll give them a drink. But we're going to do a bit of an experiment. And in this pot here, get out the way, in this pot here, we're going to try some, these few we've got left over, in some sawdust with just some nutrients added in just to see what happens rather than them just get chucked out. So we're going to do that. Right, so there we go, we're just popping the onions in the pot. We've got the pot filled with sawdust and some nutrients mixed in, and we're just making a hole and throwing them down. Like that. And the nutrients we've added is a handful of chicken manure pellets and basically a teaspoon of everything we've got. So bromo, fish blood and bone meal and some calcified seaweed, and let's just see what happens.
Potash.
Oh, and some potash. So there we go. Let's see what happens with them. Right, I've just been putting stuff away in the greenhouse and just seen that there's 2 frogs in the pond looking after their tadpoles. There's one. You see him? And the other one there. And tadpoles are just everywhere. First time for ages, I've seen 2 in the pond. Right, so I'm just putting some leeks in, and it was my sister's birthday yesterday, and we're over Mum's, and she's like, will you grow these for us? And they are the leeks, and she's got them from home base, and I know exactly why she wants these. She loves me Mum's leek pudding, so that's exactly what she wants these for, I guarantee it. So I'm just popping them in for her, and I'm squeezing them in between the garlic, because in this bed obviously I'm keeping everything together because of the crop rotation thing. That's one thing you want to do and keep on top of. So I'm squeezing them in between the garlic, because the garlic will be the first thing to come out and the leeks will be the last. So all I've done is I've, with my big dibber, made some 6-inch holes, like so. Then I've separated the leeks, like that, and picking the strongest ones, just popping them in the hole. That's probably the best one we've got left there. Just pop it in the hole, right down, and then I've got my little pound shop watering can with a bit of hose on the end, just so I can water just the holes, which I'll go ahead and do now. I wasn't actually going to grow any leeks at home this year. All the ones I'd started off, which I was originally going to grow at home, I took up the allotment. Lots very kindly just let me grow them up there for the extra space. But I can't say no to my big sister, so the leeks are in. And that's it. Just leave them like that and let them go. And hopefully she'll have some nice leeks so she can blackmail Mum into making some leek pudding. Right, I don't know if any of you can advise us, but I've got a very unhappy Asa. Now, where it is here now is a very shaded part of the garden. Right, I moved it from there, where that purple thing is there, because that's a very sunny part of the garden. So that was where it originally was, and it wasn't happy there. So I had to look online. It says it likes shade, so I moved it there, and it's still not happy. So I don't know what to do, because I really like it. I don't want to lose it. I mean, so any advice would be very gratefully received. Right, so it's time to do a potato reveal. We're going to see what's in this 15-litre bucket. These were planted on the 2nd of March, and they were because they were started off so early, they were kept in the greenhouse for a good month before I brought them outside. So they've had a good start, and the foliage is starting to die off now. They haven't flowered, but I think it's time to see what's in there. A few roots coming out at the bottom, so that was working. Not as many as I thought there would be, but let's get it in the barrow. Right, so I'm just chopping the top lot of foliage off first. There's been no blight, so all of this will just go straight in the composter. God. Well, it doesn't look like much at the minute. Oh, there's a few. Nice and small as well. Now this is one seed potato, so I'm not expecting there to be a huge amount. There's the one seed potato. Pick even the tiny ones up, because if they get the left lying around or they end up somewhere else, then it's just a nightmare. No. Well, that was disappointing. So I don't think I'll bother with the 15 litre buckets again. Hopefully we do better with a 40 litre. Right, so a disappointing result, but you know, these weren't actual seed potatoes. They were just potatoes left over I bought from Tesco's. I decided what the hell. They were Mara's paper, and although there's not many of them, but there is, look, lovely potatoes. But lesson learned, seed potatoes from now on only. Right, so I'm just finishing putting on the chilies, or the cayenne peppers I should say, and I've already done 3 of them. I'm just doing these last 3, and all I've done is simply compost, make a hole, pop it in, and firm it up, then just give them a good water. I've also done 2 of the nasturtiums there. I'm not sure if I'm going to do any more. I might pop some in outside. I'm going to put on these marigolds, and then I'm also going to do them basil now, just because I want to get things a bit organised in here ready. The bell peppers aren't enjoying the extreme heat up the top there, but the chilies seem to be, so I'm going to have the chilies at the top and the peppers on the lower shelf where it's a bit cooler. And then I'm going to put the marigolds and nasturtiums and the basil in the end trays. So I'll get all that done, then I'll come back and have a look. Right, there we go, all done. Everything potted on. I've sowed a bit more basil as well, the last of what was left in the packet. I've also put the strings, decided on strings for the sweet potatoes. So I've attached them to the pot because they went from like tiny to like that much bigger in like a day. So show you the trusses on the tomatoes now. They're getting bigger every day now as well. Some marigolds flowering at the back, the first lot. And the cucumber plants are just absolutely covered. Everywhere you look there's like little cucumbers, so it's all good. And it's so hot in the greenhouse today, we've actually had to put the fan on to try and cool it. I mean, see that? That's with the fan blowing, so. Right, I'm in my cousin's greenhouse today, I've come to have a look at these tomatoes he's been telling us about, and he's grown Super Marmandes, which are a giant beefeater tomato. But he was telling us about the trusses. He says on each truss there's one giant flower, and there is that one's massive compared to these ones. It says that one compared to them. Weird. This is me cousin's greenhouse. All these tomato plants. But over the other side, he's already got tomatoes on them ones. Looking good. You get some good results. We'll have to come back later on in the year and have a look to see how his stuff progresses, because he always does really well. We'll go have a look outside as well. He's got some tatties in the pots. Loads of tatties in the ground. A few peas there. More tatties. Flowers. Cut over here. Cabbages. All his beetroot. He normally fills this whole thing up with beetroot. Let's see what's flower here.
No, them sort of giants.
More peas. These flowers. We've got leeks over here. A few more tatties. Put some flags up to keep the birds off his cabbages and his kale. Peas are going in the back there. And his onions. And his tomatoes in buckets are starting to come up.
I don't want them anyhow, you know.
That's it. Looking forward to some of these tatties. They're flipping massive.